So the Gears of War closed beta came to an end on Monday, and after spending a good amount of time playing it, I've got a few things to say about it. After spending a good amount of time playing the beta, I had a lot of fun with it, but there's definitely a few things I think it could improve on. So let's start with the good. I feel like a lot of the movement mechanics in the game are very solid, very fluent. I like the traversal, the jumping mechanic is very fun. Who'd have thought adding jumping to a game would make it better? The map design is very nice. I mean, the whole quality of the game looks phenomenal. Even after, sorting out issues with the game, like the settings, I still thought the game looked very beautiful. Even I set it on medium settings just to get a decent frame rate, and it still looked amazing. Yeah, the game did have a couple of issues, but if they iron those issues out before the official launch of the game, I still think it could be a contender for Game of the Year. Personally, I wasn't very interested in the PvP mode because it's just not something I really want to play. When it all comes together, the movement, the shooting, the cover, the combat, when it all comes together, it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun to play with friends as well. I do see that maybe if they're not pumping out content for this specific game mode, it's not really gonna keep me occupied with the game. But like I said, they have promised a lot when it comes to content, so hopefully that should keep us entertained while we wait for more content to release. This generally feels like a really good Gears of War experience, and I think it's really good that they're going back to their roots when it comes to the game as a whole. Gears 4 and 5, they were fun, but I feel like they took away from the original 3. Like, they strayed too far away from the original goal of the first 3, and to an extent Gears of War Judgment. But by the end of this beta, I did feel like that I had a lot of fun, and this beta made me really excited for the full release of the game. Now let's move on to the cons with the game, because even though I did have a lot of fun with the game, I feel like there are a few things that they could change. Specifically, the weapon balancing. I find that the Proto Lancer, the Retro Lancer and the Hammerburst are all way underpowered for what they should actually be. Generally, the Sniper is just the best class to pick because you have so much damage output that you just one-shot things constantly. And I understand that that is kind of the Sniper's job, but to clear a game in under 10 minutes with 4 snipers on your squad, I don't think should really be the standard. Another thing I wanted to point out is when people leave the game, you are put with an AI teammate. They are the worst teammate you have ever got, right? Think of the worst teammate you've ever had and times it by 10. They won't follow you. The best thing they'll do is revive you occasionally, but most of the time they will just stand around and do nothing. Like, towards the objective. It is the most frustrating thing, especially when you're going up in a game mode that is meant to have 4 players, but technically you only have 2 because the other 2 slots are filled with AIs. And considering how aggressive enemy AI is, I think it's kind of silly to have AI that, like, friendly AI that do nothing. I think the only way to really combat this is if they add like a leave penalty or something, but it's a very casual game. People come home from work and they want to load up a game of Horde. I doubt they're going to do this, but maybe prioritize people into games that have slots available would be a benefit. But also the fact that if your game crashes or you lose connection to the game, which did happen to me a couple of times, you lose everything but your XP. Like, if you do side objectives and get your weapon parts, if you get kicked or if you disconnect or your game crashes, you lose all of them. And to lose the one currency you need to upgrade your weapons and do better in the game is very detrimental to even wanting to play the game. There was a couple of times in the beta where my game crashed and I just thought, I'm not even going to load the game back up because I don't want to play a game where I lose all my currency and I can't upgrade. It was very frustrating. But in all honesty, despite my complaints, I feel like the best takeaway is that the foundation is there. They have a really good game, the movement's good, the gameplay's smooth. Most of my complaints can be fixed with patches or integrating new things into the game, which with time will be fixed pretty easily. It's just a waiting game. But as is, I'm not disappointed with the game. Like I said, I have a few gripes, but I still will be playing this game on launch. And I think it really does deserve all the time and effort you put into it, as long as it doesn't crash. But let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments, let me know what you think to the beta and if you had fun, and thanks for watching.